Welcome to AudioPath, where we let you in on our experiences, insights, and real-life scenarios working in the music industry. I'm Trent, and I've been a studio owner and operator, a music venue owner and operator, and a musician.
And I'm John. I've been a mix engineer, mastering engineer, live sound technician.
And together, we've got 30 years of experience in the music industry.
Whether you're an artist, an engineer, or somebody who just really likes music, these stories are for you.
Come with us as we pull back the curtain of the music industry.
And let's take a walk down the audio path.
Okay. Welcome back to another episode of AudioPath Podcast. My name's Trent. This is my friend John.
What up?
Today, we're going to be talking about artist relations.
Mm-hmm. We sure are.
Kind of ways to build them, navigate them, and, you know, how important they are, what kind of effect it has within your audio business, whether it's on tour, on stage, in the studio, and kind of anywhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say it's the most important thing of all.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So
because without
that, what do you got? You're just doing it by yourself.
yeah, if you don't have a relationship with your artist, then you probably aren't working with your artist.
That's right.
It's actually that easy.
It's that simple. It's
You know?
that simple. Okay, cool.
Sweet.
So what do we where do you want to start?
Yeah,
John?
so let's
What do you
just
think?
kind of start from the top.
Okay.
And I guess the question really is then how do you build a relationship with an artist? What does that even look like?
What does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess I'll speak from the studio perspective and can say that it comes in a whole bunch of different shapes and sizes in different ways, right? The way that you meet someone and how you meet them, what you're doing when you meet them can have a big impact on how the relationship goes. It's not 100%, critical to things can flourish from any number of interactions up to, you become really good friends and you've worked together for 10 years. Or, you can have a really good interaction in the beginning. You think, wow, okay, this is going to turn into a really good project. And then maybe it does, or it never gets started at all, right? So I would say, there's lots of different ways. One of the ways that I meet artists is through live shows and events. I will go out, and sometimes it's open mics, sometimes it's songwriter showcases, sometimes it's just local shows for groups that maybe I know a band that is playing, and maybe there's a couple openers. And if the opportunity arises, I'll introduce myself, hey, caught your show, really, like your stuff. Or, if I don't, then maybe not do that, right?
Maybe I don't say anything.
Maybe don't say anything at all. But, it's putting yourself in those positions for those opportunities that can really turn into, a long-standing relationship that can be very beneficial and valuable for both you and the artist. So,
Yeah.
it can, I would say that's kind of the number one way. Now, a secondary way is you've already got some sort of relationship with an artist, whether it's, one you've had for a long time or not, and then they introduce you to a friend of theirs, whether it's, hey, I want to bring my buddy by the studio, he's in this band, and then maybe that works out well, and that kicks into another project as like an offshoot of that relationship, right? So it can go in a number of different ways. It can certainly go, and this is, a decent portion of my business is people finding me online. They scope out the studio. They're doing their reconnaissance. They're probably looking at other studios too. And they reach out and they're like, hey, I like your space. I like your work. I listen to some of your songs on your, portfolio on your website. Would love to meet up and get a tour of the studio. And that's perfect. Like every project that I do, I want to have the artist come in, whether we knew each other outside, met or whatever previously, or we've never met before in person. I want them to come to the studio and do a tour or whatever, where, I mean, they could have watched the video online and seen every single inch of the studio and don't really need to see the studio. And some of them will say, like, I'm good, we can just book the session. I'm like, well, it'd be really, really cool if you just came by and we just had a little bit of time to talk and hang out, And I think that's really important to build our relationship, to get to the point to where you can come in and we can just kind of get right at it, right? Because we've already had some interaction that's zero pressure, they're not, paying for the time, and we can just talk and get to know each other and learn. I can get, more details about the project. Now, sometimes that happens through email or whatever, but I like to do it in person if I can.
Yeah, I think that's always a great way to do this kind of stuff is in person.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What comes to your mind, John?
Yeah, a couple different things. I mean, if we're going to stick in the vein of, the how-to or whatever, from the live side of things, which again really is where I think of my artist relations primarily living at this point in my career. It's similar to you, but it's not like going to an open mic night. It's like working an open mic night,
Yeah.
Or, festivals. Festivals are a great place to try and like meet an artist. And, festivals are hard work. They just are. They take a lot out of you. It never fails that it's probably going to rain on you or something. And, you're running tons of cables back and forth or whatever. But it's a great place to meet people who are, openers for a certain band or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if you can wind up working a festival for an artist that you like their music, their openers can become artists potentially that you can work with in the future. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't always work that way. It's kind of a right place, right time scenario.
Right.
And you also have to have all of the right components. Like you have to not only do a really good job with these artists to where they'll notice like, hey, my mix sounded really good today or whatever. Mm-hmm. But you also have to be the type of person, and we've talked about this over and over, but you have to be a good hang.
Right. That's what it all comes down to.
It just comes down to that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the how-to. And I have a couple examples I can share. One of them is a more recent one where I wound up filling in for an artist who I knew who this artist was. I listened to her before actually doing any work for her. I wound up being in the right place at the right time, filling in for her on monitors and like doing a PA tech kind of a role just for one day when she was coming through and her PM needed some help with something. And right place, right time, wound up doing that. And then it turned into a full-blown like actual tour.
Yeah.
And that is now turning into like even more work.
Yeah.
And, not only was I there, but I also, that was a really stressful day for them. And this is a key theme that I would say the listeners need to take away. I could tell that first day that I filled in about a year ago that things were not going according to plan.
Yeah.
Which is the whole reason why I was even there.
Yeah.
And it was a stressful situation. And I think the very best thing you can do in a stressful situation is not pretend like it isn't there. The stress exists. You're probably feeling it too. But consciously choose to be a peaceful presence in the middle of all of this stress.
Right.
It goes such a long way.
Keep a cool head.
Keep a cool head. Watch out for the artist. Watch out for their band. Watch out for the rest of the crew, and just be aware. Be socially aware of what's going on, and see if there's a way that you can make that any better.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it. Don't be like they're in the middle of sound checking and be like running out with a bottle of water. Be like, do you need because that is stressful.
Right.
You need to find a way to be a balm.
Right. Exactly.
Soothe things over, make it easy.
Yeah.
And if you do that, that gets noticed very quickly.
Right.
To the point where now in my career, I just look to do those things because I want everybody to have a really great day. And I don't even realize I'm doing it now. But I often get told after a stressful day, man, you were just like so peaceful to be around. Thank you for making this as easy as possible.
Nice.
And it's like that kind of stuff, that's my secret weapon.
That's
right
it.
there is like, be peaceful. be a presence
Yeah.
that is just calm, steady, peaceful.
That'll get your call back right
It'll
there.
get you a call back. So,
Yeah.
so that's kind of the how-to on the live side, I would say. That's my secret.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that type of mentality works well in the studio. It is very needed in
No
the
doubt.
studio. And you know, we don't touch on this that often, or it comes up here and there, I guess, but like this job, whether it's in the studio or as a live sound technician or any other job involved in touring or whatever, it's a stressful high stress scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Or can be almost every time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and we talk about how fun and exciting it is and all that, that's true too, but like it's a high pressure thing. And not only is there a lot of pressure on the engineers or the techs, but the artist is getting a lot of pressure too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can build like a calm and patient relationship to where they know that, all right, if you're going to be there, like it's going to go okay,
Mm-hmm.
that goes so far. And honestly, that will get you, that will continue that relationship beyond most others in most situations.
Yeah, it really will.
Yeah, it'll really foster that. So definitely like do your best. It's not easy, but do your best to try to stay calm, carry on,
Mm-hmm.
do what you got to do, move quickly when you need to, but be chill.
Yeah.
When you can be.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So we've covered how.
Yes.
Maybe let's talk about how do you maintain an artist relationship. So you've done the thing. This artist knows who you are. They're working with you. What do you do from there? What does that look like in the studio?
Yeah, good question. So I think it comes back to a couple of different things. So I like to kind of check in with the artist from time to time. Like, all right, let's say, for example, we've had our first project together. Let's say that it's a big one. Let's say it's a full album, okay? And it's our first experience working together. We're doing a full album together. Now, granted, in those situations, I usually like to start with one song to kind of build that, process together. And so let's say they come to me with a full album. I go back to them and I say, I would love to do that. We've already had our tour and we're talking, and I'm saying, well, how about we start with just one and finish that one from start to finish? Because when we do an album, sometimes we're just, we're piecing each song out as it goes, and it's none of it's done till it's all done kind of thing, right? So if we start with one, then we build that relationship, and if that goes well, then we do the rest of the album, right? If it doesn't go well, then I'm not on the hook to do the whole album because we've just completed one song, and that's an easy breaking point, and they aren't either, right? But let's say that it does. Okay, so then it goes well. We move into the full record. That goes well. That relationship is probably spanning over the course of probably 3 months or something like that. And then after that, we've just, capstone completed this record together. It's a big moment for both of us. And, there's some celebrations. There's a release. Maybe there's a release party. I'll go follow up and be a part of that if I can't be. And then at that point, we kind of go our separate ways, right? So how to maintain it beyond that is I'll check in with them. I don't bombard anyone. I don't push my business or push myself onto anyone, but every, couple months or maybe even 6 months or more, I'll just drop a line and say, hey, how's the album going? Or what's the feedback like? There's still that common thread between us, and I am genuinely interested, how is it being received out in the world, right? And so that's a good way to kind of talk to them and gives them a chance to, tell me what's going on and stuff like that. And And maybe that's all that it is, and that's fine. And we have a little conversation and catch up, and then they don't have any plans at the time to do any more work, but we've, re-energized that relationship a little bit along the way. And then I kind of just keep doing that every once in a while. And I mean, at a certain point, like I'm not going to be like 3 years in and be like, hey, how's the record going?
Yeah.
Like you got to find a moment where that doesn't happen anymore. But hopefully by that time or before that time, maybe they've come back to do a single or another EP or maybe another record or something like that. So checking in with the artist and maintaining that relationship, whether it's via email or a phone call or a text message, is just a way to kind of like boost and re-energize the relationship for a little bit and just see if they need anything. They might be like, oh, I've been working on this new song and I was thinking about hitting you up anyway. You never know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to do it. And then kind of back to the beginning story of like how I meet them sometimes, like I'll go to one of their shows later after, we've worked together and talk and hang out with them there and catch them live, see what's going on, watch them perform the record that we did live,
Mm-hmm.
That's super fun.
Yeah.
So those type of things.
Yeah, I think the best thing you can do to maintain an artist relationship really in this side of things is support the artist.
Exactly. That's
know?
it. Go support them.
If they have merch, maybe get some merch. Go
Right.
see their shows.
Yep.
I mean, it's actually kind of simple. It's just,
Yeah, when they post something about their shows or their music online, like definitely give them a like, give them a comment, try to share it, like help push them out there, and see what you can do to support them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that stuff goes a long way, and it's a win-win for everybody, and it's enjoyable.
Agreed.
Good thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
How do you do it in the live world?
It's pretty similar, man. I think it depends on a couple of things. One of them is like what level of artist they are. If I've just worked with them directly, like I'm not typically hired for what I do necessarily by the artist for across the board, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's a production company.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm hired by a production company to go in and like say mix for a festival or whatever, that's an artist, that's a how-to question that we just talked about. Like how do I get to know some of these artists if I want to? But when I'm actually hired by the artist, there are a couple different relationships that typically kind of go with that I try to maintain. The biggest one is probably with the production manager because they're the person who's in charge of, making sure you're on the show or whatever, or the tour. And then obviously the artist as well. And so, the main thing I do is it's similar to what you're saying is I try to be a friend.
Yeah.
Check in.
Exactly.
If something reminds you of, a time that you had with them, text and be like, hey, I'm doing this right now. It really reminded me of this one time. Like, just thinking about you. Hope you're doing well.
Right. Exactly.
It's just being somebody's friend.
Exactly. And I mean, yeah. And that's the goal for most, relationships anyway, is that you hope to become friends. And sometimes it just stays business, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it turns into you hang out outside of the work relationship and, do things that you've got in common, like you would with any other friend, right?
I know exactly.
I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but you know what I mean.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Just be a friend.
Just be a
Just
friend.
be a good friend.
It can go in a number of ways, and if hopefully it's a mutual thing, and you'll know that.
You will.
know?
Yeah.
So
I think one of the other things I want to cover as far as artist relationships go is like kind of protecting that relationship, if that makes sense.
okay, yeah,
And one of the things that I think about is, whether or not you have like signed an NDA, depending on the level of artist you're working with, or not, there are things that you just need to think through and be aware of to just protect the reputation of the artist. I mean, the reality is, artists' reputation is their business.
yeah,
Like who they are is their business. And so if you damage that in any way, not only are you never getting called back again, but like you just You just hurt somebody's career,
Right.
you know? So some examples of this, simple ones, but I see people make this mistake all the time. I try to be very conscious of any time that my phone is out, ever, when I'm around an artist. Because
not having it out.
yeah, not having
Okay,
it out.
right, yeah.
Because it's like, you don't need to be taking photos and videos backstage.
Right.
I mean, maybe
maybe
one
some.
or two, like during the course of a tour, just
Yeah.
like, but you certainly don't need to be like snapping a photo of your artist and then just posting that picture of your artist up on your social media.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just an absolute no-no.
Yeah.
The things that I'll take pictures of is I take pictures of my workstation sometimes. Like if I've got a really cool space that I'm working in or whatever, and I like the way that it looks visually, I'll snap a photo of that sometimes and post it.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll do that and I'll just tag the city that I'm in that day because I think it's kind of fun to look back like over the course of a year or whatever and be like, oh, these are all the places that I got to go,
Yeah.
while I was working this year. That can be kind of fun.
No
but yeah,
harm, no foul on that one.
yeah, no harm, no foul on that one.
Yeah.
But if it goes back to this, like if you are working, you don't need to be on your phone.
Right.
Period.
Exactly. Unless you need something from a document or internet or something, and
Right.
it's right there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, put that thing down.
Like I'm
right?
not going to be back, and in my early days, I made this mistake one time and realized I probably shouldn't be doing this. But like, if I'm like back mixing monitors or whatever, and I've got a cool view of the stage, I probably shouldn't have my phone out and take a quick video.
Yeah.
It's like I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I just need to keep working. I need to do my job.
Right.
And-
Right. Because you never know what might happen during that time when you don't have your hands on the console and you
Yeah.
have your phone instead.
Yeah, what if the artist is trying to catch your attention? I'm just
And they
using
look
monitors as an
over
example.
and-
They
yeah.
look over and you're just like,
Yeah. That's not
it's
gonna
like,
go
that's
well.
not cool, man.
No,
That's
definitely
not
not. On the posting thing, though, I will and we were talking about this before this episode in the studio. I'm real bad about it. Like, I'm real bad about documenting, the progress, right? And I think that comes from a good place. I don't want to be out with my phone, who knows what they think I'm doing, even if I'm just trying to get to my camera to take a picture. I just avoid that at all costs, But occasionally, when there is a little bit of downtime, I'll try to take a picture or a video. Same thing, to be able to look back and remember, what was going on during the time. But I will always ask the artist permission before I post anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, 9 times out of 10, usually 10 out of 10, but 9 times out of 10, they are totally cool with it. In fact, they encourage it because they want the extra, boost and engagement and publicity. Of course, I'm going to tag them if they are okay with it. And, they like that.
Yeah.
Unless they're working on something that they're not ready to put out, in which case they will just say, hey, yeah, you hold on to those, and in like 3 months around when the record comes out, go for it. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I think that, I could get better about trying to do that in the most professional way possible. Because I think it can be a benefit for both your business and, it can help the artist out. But just be careful. Don't get carried away with that. That's not the main focus. Like, a little bit is okay, but you don't want to disrupt the flow with that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the worst thing you can do is interrupt the creative process for somebody else.
Exactly.
And, sometimes having a phone out and taking a video is going to do that.
Yeah.
And ask yourself, why do you even want to take a video of this?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you just trying to get some clout,
You trying to get some likes?
right? Or what?
Yeah.
Or what are you doing?
True. And, we're all guilty of that. Sometimes that's, like, oh, this is cool. I bet people would like to see this. And maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. But, sometimes it's good to just have it to look back on for your own personal memory. And then maybe you don't even need to post it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
You just
Imagine
You
that.
just have it. Yeah. You're like, you take that little video, that clip, and you're like, man, that was a cool guitar rig setup. I'm glad that I got that.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Be able to check back later.
right.
But yeah, that's artist relations, man.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's most of it, honestly. It's mostly coming down to the age-old thing that we like to say: be at a good hang,
Being a good hang.
be cool, and follow up. Like treat them like you would a friend, with a level of business professionality in there.
Yes, and respect.
And respect.
Mhm.
And until it becomes to a very obvious point to where like you're buds, then maintain that part.
Absolutely.
And even when you are, like, if you're working, you're working. If you're hanging, you're hanging. right?
Agreed. Yeah. One thing I do, and this will be the last thing I'll say on it because I think we're about done, is another way I maintain that relationship of respect is this is just a me thing. I'm from the South, so maybe that's why I do this. But if I'm talking with people like on TalkBack on monitors or whatever, and they ask me for a change, I recognize that change. Like instead of just doing it, I'll say yes sir or yes ma'am.
Right.
And that's just, and then I make the change.
Yeah.
It does two things. It lets them know, hey, I've heard what you said and I will make the change now. But it also is just a level of respect of like, hey, I'm respecting what you're doing up there.
Yep.
I've literally never had anybody ever tell me, don't call me yes sir, don't call me yes ma'am.
Yeah.
People are like, hey, this guy, he respects me.
Right.
He gets it.
That's cool.
And it's just something I've done forever. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just
It's habit.
I've just always done that.
That's
So
a good thing to do.
just a little nugget in there.
There you go.
So.
There you go. Yeah, I like to check in with people in the studio on the talk back. Like, is everybody hearing everything okay? Like before we really get started, because you'd be surprised. They're focused on playing, and they might get carried away and not realize that they're not really hearing their bandmate as well as they probably should.
Right.
And we'll take a little second and we'll ask about that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
Goes a long way.
It does.
All right.
Cool.
That's that. What you working on, John?
Let's see here. What am I working on? Well, the cat's out of the bag that we film these kind of in bulk sometimes.
I think so.
And so, yeah, I've been, I just got back from doing a tour with Charity Gale.
Yeah.
New artist for me, but just incredible time on that tour.
Nice.
It was pretty awesome. I was doing monitors and stage managing for her. And yeah, really love her a lot. And her husband, Ryan, they're just incredible people. I just really felt honored to be with them. They're down to earth. Their music is incredible. Their band is awesome. The crew that they've selected is insane.
Nice.
Like they're just insanely good at what they do, and they're great people. So hoping that kind of continues that relationship, that artist relationship.
Hey.
And yeah, that's what I've been doing. What about you?
That's cool, man. Very good. It sounds like that's a good relationship right there.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I've been working on a long-standing relationship project. So I've been working with the Mid-Atlantic, which I've probably mentioned on several other episodes, because this project is it's kind of a stretched out, ongoing kind of thing. We're working on a full-length record, but we have very limited amount of time per week to get together. So it's being spanned out over a long period of time. But it's great. I'm really enjoying it. The long relationship part of it is we did a record together almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
And that was like their debut full-length record, and had a great experience with them at that point. And they played together for a couple years after that, and then basically just went on a hiatus. And fast forward 7 or 8 years from that point, and well, maybe like a year or two prior from now, they kind of rebanded and got the band back together.
Literally.
And added some other members now, and kept the core, and they're at it again, and they've come back to me to do another record, which is really cool. It's like, man, that was so long ago.
Very cool.
And that is very rare that a band I wouldn't say they were together that whole time, but even to get back together after that long is a rare thing, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's been cool. I'm excited. We're I don't even know where we are. We may be getting close to halfway through the recording of it, but it's great.
Nice.
Having a good time. So yeah. All right. Well, I think that does it for us for this episode on artist relations. If you learned anything, like drop us a comment, give us a like, shoot us an email if you want to talk any more about this. It's audiopathpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah. Well, until next time,
Steady the path.
steady the path.